expired. Senator Carr.
Mr President, my question is to the Minister for Industry, Innovation and Science, Senator Sinodinos. Minister, as recently as yesterday in the Senate, you claimed that the government is going to help workers that will lose their jobs when Holden and Toyota factories close. Exactly how are you going to do that?
The Minister for Industry, Innovation and Science, Senator Sinodinos.
Well, thank you, Mr President. By continuing the programs already underway, we've had a $155 million growth fund, of which $100 million has come from the federal government. There have been contributions from the state governments and from the car companies. We're going to continue intensive employment assistance. That will be available to workers all the way through to 2018. We are looking with the Victorian government, with the South Australian government, on community-based initiatives that make sure that workers who are transitioning are as far as possible being given the opportunity to find jobs in their local communities. And how do we strengthen the base of those local communities? We are taking this very seriously. We're looking at upstream and downstream linkages. For example, there are automotive components and suppliers who have obviously traditionally relied on the automotive industry for orders. We've had programs underway for some time to help them to diversify. Now, not all of them will be able to diversify, we accept that, but where possible we're giving them the opportunity to diversify into related fields and, where possible, also export assistance so they can do more on world markets. We're also going to be looking at, over the next few months, ways in which our trade deals can be made more specific in terms of the access that can be provided for people in these particular sectors. There's a lot going on. There's a lot more that can be done through existing programs, and where we need to, we can provide additional resources, for example in the employment services space, to fund priority projects. And we are doing all of that. We are standing by the workers in those industries, and we are promoting high-end research skills. The car companies have recognised that those skills are very important as part of their global value chains. It's an area we can really exploit, high-end engineering, R&D.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Carr.
Well, Minister, in your answer just now and on your press statement of the 1st of February on the closure of the Toyota Altona plant, you said that money was available in the Growth Fund. Given that the Commonwealth funding is not available for supply chains or to retrain those workers who are about to lose their jobs, will you now acknowledge that your statement is actually incorrect?
Minister.
Mr President, through you, we are providing funding which is helping the diversification process. 100 million at least of that 155. We're also looking at what more we can do for the automotive component makers. I spoke yesterday to Wade Noonan, the Minister of Industry and Employment in Victoria, and I'll be speaking further to my South Australian counterpart about all of this. But we are doing everything we can, and the process is not helped by the idea that somehow there's a political divide on this. We all want the same outcome.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Carr.
There is a political divide on this, and I'd ask you again, instead of misleading workers who are about to lose their job, can you tell us exactly what additional money your government will provide, given that the major job losses in this industry are yet to come?
Minister.
We're already providing major funds to help the diversification of the auto component makers, and what we will also do in the period ahead, as I said, make sure that employment assistance, intensive employment assistance, is available to workers going forward. This is on top of the money that the companies themselves are providing, and rightly should provide, because they have a responsibility to those workers. They've made the decision to go. They have a responsibility to those workers. Toyota and Holden have provided money, Ford has been providing money, and we will ensure that that money is appropriately used as part of a framework to promote local employment.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Fawcett.